Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard here. So 2023 is kind of an odd year because it's the year of 10ths. We're getting the 10th Saw movie, the 10th Fast and Furious movie, which is actually the 11th if you count Hobbs and Shaw, which we do, and of course the 10th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. So it seems about time that I make this list. And it was a little hard finding franchises that have made it to the 10th movie. But I was able to find 27 different franchises that made it to the 10th movie, so I distilled that down into the top 10. So here we go with my top 10 10th movies in a franchise. So same rules as my other previous lists like this before, that is, these are the 10th movies chronologically, not canonically, so when they came out, not where they take place in said franchise. Also, this is all my own personal opinion, so feel free to disagree with me back in the comments and let me know that I'm an idiot. Now let's get into it.
Number 10, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
So this one surprised me because I did not know The Man from U.N.C.L.E. had movies from the original series, but yes, the remake with Henry Cavill and actual Cannibal Armie Hammer is the 10th Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie. This one was pretty fun romp, is pretty good. Was it the greatest movie in the world? No. Is it a pretty good 10th movie? Actually, yes. If you see the other 10th movies that I was able to find, this one actually does stand above the rest. But anyways, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., it was a good, fun spy movie. It's a kind of, the American take on Bond, and it was pretty good, and I would have loved to see more of these and see Henry Cavill be a spy again. Of course, he's a spy or something in Mission Impossible. It's really hard to say what he is in that, but he was awesome in this as well, and I hope we see more. But as it stands, this is the final Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie, currently speaking, and it was a decent one to go out on.
How did you get the invitation to my party?
I stole it.
So you're a thief. I hope you wear a mask.
Sometimes. Just never when I'm stealing things.
Number 9, Jason X.
So with the Twitter meme of "this is a movie you were all too hard on," Jason X was a movie you were all too hard on. This is an incredibly fun, stupid, goofy movie, and you can just go with it and have fun. It's Jason in fucking space. That is awesome, and I feel like they really did a lot with it. It had one of the brutalest kills in the entire franchise, the liquid nitrogen kill. Uber Jason was freaking awesome. Yeah, some of the acting is goofy. Yeah, some of the effects can also be goofy, but it all lends to the charm of this amazing movie. And maybe I'm a little jaded because this is the first Friday the 13th movie I got to see in theaters, but still, it is really awesome. I think it was a great place to go with Jason. Like, just go over the edge, over the top, and just go crazy with it. And that's what they did, and it was awesome, and I love it.
I don't think he's out there.
Why don't you just stick your head out and have a peek?
Number 8, Star Trek Nemesis.
So the movie that killed Star Trek movies for about a decade and kind of helped end Star Trek altogether. That's a whole different story I'm not going to get into, but Star Trek Nemesis, was it the best Star Trek movie? No. Was it pretty good? Absolutely. I really enjoy this one. I think it gets more hate than it truly deserves. It has some really fun moments, some kind of really dark moments. I like the idea of nature versus nurture that's brought up in this, and it's kind of interesting to see a new alien race and just some more interesting things going on. Spoiler, the death of Data was absolutely sad and a bit heartbreaking, Overall, it was a fun kind of romp with some trying to take Star Trek in a bit of a darker edge. They would kind of perfect this in current Trek a little bit better, but I think it was a start to go somewhere. I just think maybe people were a little tired of this cast, and also the fact that Enterprise was the main show on the air at this time did not help. But it was overall a pretty decent Star Trek movie, and I enjoyed it.
I'm a mirror for you as well.
Don't be so vain.
Number 7, The Spy Who Loved Me.
So basically at this point, Bond movies are just going to make all these lists because they're really not that bad overall, and it is of course one of the longest running movie franchises of all time, so it's going to be easily to find a spot somewhere on these lists. But anyways, The Spy Who Loved Me is probably one of Roger Moore's best Bond outings. There's probably some debate on that, but this one's really solid and just like kind of the architect of what Roger Moore did as Bond, and it was really amazing, and it has some really solid moments. Yeah, the villain is kind of just a blow-filled ripoff. However, it's good 60s Bond, although I think this is from the 70s. But anyways, it's just good classic Bond with some fun moments and just really good Roger Moore Bond. And he was always a solid Bond in my eyes. And this one was probably one of his top ones. And of course, it's the one that Austin Powers parodied. So, it's kind of perfect Bond movie, or just your archetype of a Bond movie. And that's always good to see.
In our business, and your people get killed. We both know that.
Then, when this mission is over, I will kill you.
Number 6, Gamera 2, Attack of Legion.
So if you've seen these lists that I've been doing for years, I've basically been sleeping on the Gamera series. It is rip-off Godzilla. Come on, let's all just get together in a minute. However, the 90s Gamera trilogy was something else, man. They really put some work and effort into it and really came up with something special. And Attack of the Legion was just really, really good for a Gamera movie. It's amazing to see these guys in suits still, but using these amazing puppetry. Like, there's no CG in this movie. The next one would be a ton of CG, but this one, no CG. And it's just amazing to see what they did with these suits and these buildings and the fake cities and how they're smashing them up. And Gamera is always amazing. And then the 90s style Gamera was just the perfect style of like this crazy cool looking monster, but still kind of having the heart of Gamera. And that was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it.
Gamera is trying to protect us.
We do not stop this thing. Tokyo will fall like Sendai.
Number 5, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay.
Another franchise I've been sleeping on these lists is the DC animated movie universe, or the DCAMU. If you didn't know, they had a lot. DC has been and still continues to do a lot of straight to DVD releases of movies, and they actually did a connected universe within those. That was the certain set of movies, and Suicide Squad Hell to Pay was of course the 10th one of that. That's why it's on this list. But anyways, it was really good. I love seeing Tara Strong as Harley Quinn. She is awesome at that. And there's just some really other good voice acting, and it was a really good outing for the Suicide Squad. I can't remember when this kind of took place after the bad Suicide Squad live action movie, but I felt like this was getting Suicide Squad back into the public eye with a proper outing. and it was really solid. It had some good action, a bit of a goofy storyline, but these ones really followed the comics, so that's kind of expected. So I didn't mind that it was a little goofy, but overall really enjoyable, great animation, great voice acting. It was a really, really solid DC movie.
We're coming to get you!
Number 4, The Suicide Squad.
Yes, another Suicide Squad movie made the list. Of course, the James Gunn The Suicide Squad was freaking awesome. It really took that bad Suicide Squad, and this is a direct sequel. I don't care what anyone says. It has a lot of the same actors in it. It's in the DCEU. It is built into this universe, but it just plays with it, and they really let James Gunn just jump into the toy box and do whatever he wanted with these characters and just have a blast with them. Bloodsport was freaking awesome. His gun was amazing. Of course, Idris Elba was the actor, who is always awesome. He added some real heart to the movie and made it really cool and fun. Of course, this is probably the best outing as Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. It definitely took everything that she's done built up into this, and it was fantastic. I'm going to miss her as Harley Quinn when this universe ends. I really don't think they're going to recast her. We'll see. It was really interesting to see that. And of course, King Shark was amazing. You gotta love it for nom-noms and chopping people's heads off. But this was gory, it was rated R, it was awesome. There's guns and amazing stuff. And not to leave out Peacemaker, played by John Cena, who was also amazing. Like, everything worked about this. And it was finally like the really good DCEU movie that a lot of people were waiting for, and it's my personal favorite DCEU movie. It is fantastic. I just loved it, and like James Gunn just does really good work, as we'll see with the next one in my list. But yeah, The Suicide Squad, it was awesome.
This whole beach was completely covered in dicks, and somebody said I'd eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty. I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, yeah, I told you, James Gunn's already back. Guardians of the Galaxy is the 10th MCU movie, and it's so good. So freaking good. So I remember when this came out, and I was actually complaining that they left out a lot of characters before doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, there was no Ghost Rider movie, there was no Nova movie. Like, there's some major characters that they haven't done and really still haven't done in this universe. And we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, what? But I was totally proven wrong. It was so good. This is probably one of my favorite incarnations of Groot. I like the big tree Groot. He was a lot of fun. I liked just everything about it. The soundtrack, of course, was awesome. The heart was in it. The heart of just all the characters was awesome. It just really works on so many levels, and it made Guardians one of the best franchises within the MCU, and it's just so freaking awesome. It's a great start to this, and it's a great introduction into the cosmic world of the MCU, and it really worked, and yeah, it is so good, so amazing. Go Guardians of the Galaxy.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Number 2, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Yes, your hate fuels me. Give me the hate in the comments. But I absolutely love The Last Jedi, and I will give you more to hate. It is my favorite Star Wars movie. That's right, I don't deny it. The Last Jedi was amazing. I love how it turned everyone's expectations on their head. It almost looked like they went out of their way to go to fan forums and go to Reddit and just do the opposite of what everyone wanted and expected. And I think they did a fantastic job with it. It was so good. It was so interesting. And not to sound too cliche, but it almost felt like, again, the first time Star Wars actually meant something, and that it was a deeper story than just space wizards. It like had a lot of subtext to it. It was fantastic, and there's just so many amazing shots. Battle in the Salt with Luke Skywalker was awesome. I love seeing the other starship go into light mode and destroying the other one. That was so cool. Rey being nobody was so good. It was such a good turn, and I loved it. Of course, they ruined that with the next movie, but Rey being nobody was such a good addition to this. It was so good. I just really wish they didn't chicken out with the next movie and they kind of continued with some of this stuff. I think Star Wars would have been stronger for it, but you know, what are you gonna do? This was so good. I love The Last Jedi. I can rant about it forever. And I know everyone hates me because I like it, but it is fantastic. It is amazing. It's the best Star Wars. What can I tell you?
Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
Number 1, Logan.
So, this movie is better than it has any right to ever be. The ebbs and flows of the X-Men movies are kind of amazing. They go from absolutely horrendous to amazing. Like, we got Wolverine Origins, and we have Dark Phoenix, but we also have X2 and First Class, and of course Logan, and we got Deadpool. It's just this weird, like, this franchise is all over the goddamn place, and it's weird that they got it all together for this movie. And it was an amazing swan song for Hubert Jackman's Wolverine and Patrick Stewart's Professor X. Of course, again, we're getting that ruined because we're getting Hubert Jackman back as Wolverine. I really don't like that personally. Again, you can hate me in the comments, but I thought this is a great spot he should have gone out on. And we don't need to taint that with like fan baiting and like just essentially fan fiction. But anyways, this is such a good movie. They really just turned it on. We got to see the brutality of Wolverine that we got the hint at in X2, but truly brought out with a rated R movie. And Patrick Stewart is so good in this as an aging Professor X. It is so amazing, and the world is so desolate and sad, and it really does feel like Wolverine is at his end. And of course, yeah, it makes an incredibly sad ending. I really wish we got some continuation of this, but of course this universe is dead. But I would have loved to see the X-23 or Laura Kinney movie that they were going to do after this, to see where she went off with her mutant friends and see where that goes from there. With what this is, it was so good, and it's, again, way better than it had any right to be. Because Hugh Jackman is not really a good Wolverine if you compare him to the comics. But he did something with this, and then he did something with this specific movie that made it very amazing, and he's just so good. So yeah, again, this is another movie I cannot praise enough, and it was honestly really hard to choose between this one and the last one to put it number 1, but here we go. I think Logan does edge it out. Logan is such a good movie. Absolutely love it.
She needs our help.
You are
someone will come along.
Someone has come along.
I am still right here.
So here you go. That is my top 10 10th movies in a franchise. What'd you think? Did I leave out things like Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, or Evil Bong 666, Children of the Corn Runaway, maybe The Amityville Haunting, or Rebirth of Mothra? Yes, these are all 10th movies that I found in this franchise, that have 10th movies. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Did I totally miss the mark on this, or was it worth it and awesome? Give me your hate for Last Jedi. Just do it now. I know it's going to happen. But anyways, let me know what you think. Let me know what your top 10 10th movies are. But I'm Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. Until next time, hold on to your hold slots.